Well, in the air, still no budget agreement on Capitol Hill. A late-night meeting planned between President Obama and the Republicans. Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid will be in attendance as well. We're joined now by Senator Orrin Hatch. He's the ranking member on the Senate Finance Committee, and it is great to have you with us, Senator. Give us your outlook on this budget impasse. Do you expect resolution, or should we be prepared for a shutdown?
Well, right now it looks like the Democrats want a shutdown that they can blame on Republicans when they haven't even offered a budget. Here is their budget right here. In other words, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. Now, we've had 4 years of Democrat control of Congress and 2 years where the president has controlled at least the House and the Senate and haven't brought up a budget at all. And I've got to tell you, I think they want a shutdown. Well, keep in mind, just tonight, the Democratic Campaign Committee for the House sent out a fundraising letter about this playing off on the shutdown. I mean, it's crass stuff, I'll tell you.
Well, as I recall, the Senate, the Democratic leadership made a very strong point of letting no crisis go to waste. Let me turn to comments that we've heard from the White House today, unnamed spokesman, saying that they believe, as in 1995, that this will be a good thing for President Obama. Do you agree with that perspective?
Not if people look at the lack of leadership by the White House. You know, you can't do some of these budgets without White House leadership. We haven't had leadership on immigration. We haven't had leadership on entitlements. We didn't have White House presidential leadership on the health care bill. We're not having presidential leadership on this budget right now. I mean, my gosh, you can't do these things without presidential leadership. So to try and blame the Republicans for Democrats who are unwilling to do anything about this crucial $14.3 trillion national debt that's going to $20 trillion. And I might add that that's $45,000 for every man, woman, and child in America debt. And not only that, but that $14.3 trillion debt that's going up every day is now 90% of our GDP. Now, we're currently spending about 69% of our GDP, and the president's budget will take us to 90% of the GDP. If that happens, we're Greece. And I mean, it's just awful. We have a lack of presidential leadership. I think we have a lack of Democrat leadership up here in the Congress, and certainly in the Senate, they're just hoping that we'll have a shutdown so that they can blame Republicans when it's really their fault.
Well, poll after poll that we've seen here of late shows that the American people are going to hold both parties basically equally responsible. And that seems to be a fair statement, except until one realizes that what we're talking about here is a 2011 budget, which was last year's business, as the president himself acknowledged this week, that should have been handled by the Democrats, Nancy Pelosi, Harry Reid, and the president last year.
They didn't even have a budget last year. Again, this is their budget. It's a plain sheet of paper. They're just not leading. They're not doing what they should do. And frankly, you know, they're just counting on the left-wing media coming behind them and blaming Republicans for it, when Republicans are doing everything they can with the limits of working just with discretionary programs. That's only 12% of the budget. That's why the Ryan approach is very interesting. At least that's a budget. And It's a serious budget. It's a serious budget.
And we thank you, Senator, for being here. And I'm glad I gave you the opportunity to use that prop, not once, but twice. And that is one of the simplest props I've ever seen, but highly effective.
I'll use it again. I'll do it again, because it's a joke. I mean, there's no leadership here at all. And I got to tell you, the president hasn't led on a whole variety of issues.
Right.
And in entitlements, if you're going to get entitlements under control, and that's where it is, the president has to lead. You can't do it without presidential leadership, and he's just unwilling to do it.
Senator, always good to talk with you. Thanks for being here.
Nice to
Senator
talk
Orrin
to you.
Hatch.